Good morning, students. Today we'll go for the learning of lesson number 35, which tells about quantitative data analysis in research methodology. I am your teacher, Dr. K.V. Somnath, GS College of Commerce, Vardha. In the earlier lesson, lesson number 34, we have learned about qualitative data analysis. Now we'll be going to learn about how the quantitative data in the research methodology while doing the research project or research activity will be analyzed. First of all, let us know what is quantitative data. Any data expressed in numbers of numerical figures are called quantitative data. This type of data can be distinguished into categories: grouped, measured, calculated, or ranked. Example: questions such as age, rank, cost, length, weight, score, etc. Everything comes under this type of data where there are numerical numbers. You can present such data in graphical format, charts, or apply statistical analysis methods to do the data. The outcome measurement system (OMS) questionnaires in surveys are a significant source of collecting numerical data. After the data is prepared for analysis, researchers are open to using different research and data analysis methods to derive meaningful insights. For sure, statistical techniques are the most favored to analyze numerical data. The method is again classified into two groups, namely descriptive statistics used to describe the data, and the second one is inferential statistics that helps in comparing the data. Means when you want to describe, you use the descriptive statistics, and when you want to compare the data or the variables between and among the other variables, inferential statistics. It is called as inferential statistics. Now, what is descriptive statistics? This method is used to describe the basic features of versatile types of data in research. It presents the data in such a meaningful way that pattern in the data starts making sense. Nevertheless, the descriptive analysis does not go beyond making conclusions. The conclusions are again based on the hypothesis researchers have formulated so far. Here are a few major types of descriptive analysis methods. The descriptive analysis is also called as univariate analysis, since it is commonly used to analyze a single variable. Now, what are the various descriptive analysis statistical tools? The first one is measures of frequency, that is count, percent, frequency. It is used to denote whom often a particular event occurs. Researchers use it when they want to showcase how often a response is given. The second one is measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode. The method is widely used in demonstrating distribution by various points. Researchers use this method when they want to showcase the most commonly or averagely indicated responses. The third one is measures of dispersion or variation, namely range, variance, standard deviation, etc. Here the field equals high and low points, highest range, lowest range, low and high end, like that. Variance, standard deviation, that is the difference between the observed score and mean. It is used to identify the spread of scores by stating intervals. Researchers use this method to showcase data spread out. It helps them identify the depth until which the data is spread out, that it directly affects the mean. The next one is measures of position, like percentile ranks, quartile deviation, quartile ranks, etc. It relies on standardized scores, helping researchers to identify the relationship between different scores. It is often used when researchers want to compare scores with the average count. For quantitative research, the use of descriptive analysis often give absolute numbers, but the analysis is never sufficient to demonstrate the rationale behind those numbers. So, nevertheless, it is necessary to think of the best method for research and data analysis suiting your survey questionnaire and what story researchers want to tell about. For example, the mean is the best way to demonstrate the students' average scores in the schools. It is better to rely on the descriptive statistics when the researchers intend to keep the research or outcome limited to provide simple without generalizing it. For example, when you want to compare average voting done in two different cities, the differential statistics are enough to use. The second one is inferential statistics. The inferential statistics are used to make predictions about a large population after research and data analysis of the representing population's collected sample. For example, you can ask some odd 100 audiences at a movie theater if they like the movie they are watching. Researchers then use inferential statistics on the collected sample to reason that about 80 to 90% of the people like the movie or does not like the movie, like that. Here are two significant areas of inferential statistics. Number one is estimating parameters. It takes statistics from the sample research data and demonstrates something about the population parameter. The second one is hypothesis testing. It's about sampling research data to answer the survey research questions. For example, researchers might be interested to understand if the new shade of lipstick recently launched is good or not, or if the multivitamin capsules help children to perform better at games or not. These are sophisticated analysis methods used to showcase the relationship between different variables instead of describing a single variable. It is often used to when researchers want something beyond absolute numbers to understand the relationship between the variables. Now, here are some of the most commonly used methods for data analysis in research. Number one is correlation. When researchers are not conducting experimental research, wherein the researchers are interested to understand the relationship between two or more variables, they opt for correlational research methods. The second one is cross tabulation. It is also called as contingency tables. Cross tabulation is used to analyze the relationship between multiple variables. We generally go for multiple correlation. Suppose provided data has age and gender categories presented in rows and columns. A two-dimensional cross tabulation helps for seamless data analysis and research by showing the number of males and females in each age category. The third one is regression analysis. For understanding the strong relationship between two variables, researchers do not look beyond the primary and commonly used regression analysis method, which is also a type of predictive analysis used. In this method, we have an essential factor called the dependent variable. You also have multiple independent variables in regression analysis. That's why we conduct multiple regression. You undertake efforts to find out the impact of independent variables on the dependent variable. The value of both independent and dependent variables are assumed as being ascertained in an error-free random manner. The next one is frequency table. The statistical procedure used for testing the degree to which two or more vary or differ in an experiment. A considerable degree of variation means research findings are significant. In many contexts, ANOVA, analysis of variance testing, and variance analysis are similar. Analysis of variance. The statistical procedure is used for testing the degree to which two or more vary or different in an experiment. A considerable degree of variation means research findings are significant. Okay. The next one is univariate analysis. So univariate analysis is the simplest form of data analysis where the data being analyzed contains only one variable. Since it is a single variable, it does not deal with the cases or causes or relationships. The main purpose of univariate analysis is to describe the data and find patterns that exist with it. You can think of variable as a category that your data falls into. One example of a variable in univariate analysis might be age, another might be height. Univariate analysis would not look at those two variables at the same time, nor would it take at the relationship between them. Some ways you can describe patterns found in univariate data includes looking at mean, mode, median, range, variance, maximum, minimum, quartiles, and standard deviation. Additionally, some ways you may display univariate data include frequency distribution, tables, bar charts, histograms, frequency polygon, frequency curve, and pie charts. Now the bivariate analysis. The bivariate analysis is used to find out if there is a relationship between two variables. Something as simple as creating a scatter plot by plotting one variable against another on a Cartesian plane, like think X and Y are the two axes of a graph paper, can sometimes give you a picture of what the data is trying to tell about, like demand and supply. If the data seems to fit in a line or a curve, then there is a relationship or correlation between the two variables. For example, one might choose to plot caloric intake versus weight. Means the weight depends on calorie intake of food or not. The supply and the demand, the price and the demand and the price, like that. Multivariate analysis. Multivariate analysis is the analysis of three or more variables. There are many ways to perform multivariate analysis depending upon our goals. Some of these methods include additive tree, canonical correlation analysis, cluster analysis, correspondence analysis or multiple correspondence analysis, factor analysis, generalized Procrustean analysis, MANOVA, multi approach of analysis of variance, multidimensional scaling, multiple regression analysis, partial least square regression, principal component analysis or regression, or parafact and redundancy analysis. These are some of the techniques used in multivariate analysis. Now, there are certain conditions for research data analysis, particularly in the case of the quantitative data analysis. Researchers must have the necessary skills to analyze the data, getting trained to demonstrate a high standard of research practice. Ideally, researchers must possess more than a basic understanding of the rationale of selecting one statistical method over the other to obtain better data insight. Means we should be having a excellent knowledge of doing the statistical analysis methods. Usually, research and data analytic methods differ by scientific discipline. Therefore, getting statistical advice at the beginning of the analysis helps design a survey questionnaire. Select data collection methods and choose sample. Means you have to fix which question is to be used for which type of statistical method at the time of designing the questionnaire itself. Otherwise, there may be a mismatch. The next one is the primary aim of data research and analysis is to derive ultimate insights that are unbiased. Any mistake in or keeping a biased mind to collect data, selecting an analysis method, or choosing audience sample to draw a biased inference. Irrelevant to the sophistication used in research data and analysis is enough to rectify the poorly defined objective outcome measurements. It does not matter if the design is at fault or intentions are not clear, but lack of clarity might mislead readers or the researchers, so avoid that type of practice is better. The motive behind data analysis in research is to present accurate and reliable data. As far as possible, avoid statistical errors and find a way to deal with every challenge like outliers, missing data, data altering, data mining, or developing graphical representation. Right? So with this, I hope that you might have gone through very carefully and concentratedly the quantitative data analysis tools and techniques and the approaches how the researchers are supposed to go in while they go for quantitative data analysis. I request you once again to go through the entire video and try to understand everything in that in a particular manner, in a specific manner. Till then, stay safe and stay protected. Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you.